What's going on, good people of the internet? It's time for OnComicsGrounds.com's flagship podcast, Panel to Panel, where a bunch of folks shoot the breeze and talk about comic books and such. We are going to jump right back into our topic that we have going on, which is DC animated TV shows. We started part one. Make sure you check out that first, and then come out and listen to this second part right now. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at PTP_podcast. You can follow the website On Comics Ground on Instagram and Twitter at On Comics Ground. You can check out our website every weekday for new previews, reviews, solicitations, all that good stuff at OnComicsGround.com. Put some hyphens between those words. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, all that good stuff. We're going to jump right back into it. So, Travis, Mary, how you doing this evening?
I'm fine.
Pretty good.
It's kind of a do-nothing day for me, so.
Travis, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm going to send you guys pictures of this model because it's coming out nice.
Nice. All right. So, we are going to jump into what is known by many as the modern era of DC animated properties, which is, and I skipped over one, but intentionally, because we're going to do two Batman things back to back. So, the first one was Kids WB trying to have their version of the Batman animated series, which was the Batman. Like, that, this show, 2003 was a great time to be a Batman fan, yo. Like,
facts.
Like, you had not only a black man voicing the Joker, but you had a black man voicing a Joker with dreadlocks. That's how tight this show was. like in this show, I will stand by the fact, has some of the best animation. It takes some daring risk with the Batman property. Like, it does the Justice League pretty damn good right on the heels of Justice League Unlimited. Like, it does a lot in only, 5 seasons, something like that?
Something like that.
Like, it kind of takes a daring turn and goes back to the original origin of Mr. Freeze, where he's just a petty criminal who gets ice powers. Like, Joker's insane, but, like, still insane, but, like, he can jump around now and be more daring because he has dreadlocks and no boots. Like,
Yeah.
What else is there? The Penguin's voiced by SpongeBob. Like, the whole game's changed.
Oh, I totally forgot about him voicing the Penguin.
Poison Ivy's an eco-terrorist and was originally best friends with Batgirl before she got her powers. Like, the show goes insane from like really quickly, and then just keeps it going. They wanted to prove that this could be on the same level as Batman the Animated Series, and for a lot of people, it didn't. I think it did, but that's a hot take right there. How did y'all feel about this show?
It's not about the show. It's that you think it competed with Conroy and Hamill.
I mean, let's go. Like, Kevin Michael, like, hey man.
Who do you hear when you read Batman bubbles when you read the Batman comics?
Honestly, this is gonna be pretty daring on the table. I hear the Batman Bruce Wayne, but I hear Mark Hamill Joker. That's what's crazy about it.
I don't even know you.
Bro, like, on some real shit. Like, as much as I love Kevin Michael Richardson, like, he's only for that show. But, like, Rino Romano is just perfect as the Batman for that show. And then you find out later he also voiced Spider-Man, which is even kind of crazier. But, like, it's just because he has that youngness to him. Because he sounds like a 30-year-old bachelor as the Batman. Like, now, granted, when Conroy got started, he did. But then, like, 2000 hits, and like, he just sounds perpetually like mature 50 Batman for the rest of it, like, for the rest of even to now. Even when he's older, he sounds like 50 Batman. So like that's why I think Rino Romano sticks more with me as Batman than, or actually no, Rino Romano and then Diedrich Bader, who we'll talk about next, are the two that I hear when I read a Batman comic.
I can concede to Diedrich Bader because his Batman voicing was just phenomenal.
It's like trying to be Kevin Conroy, but also being campy as fuck, like he's Adam West, and I love it. But we'll get to that in a second. But what were your thoughts about 2003 Batman, Travis?
Honestly, I didn't watch that one very much. By that point, I had committed to. Yeah, by that point, I had committed to anime. Honestly, I committed to anime real hard at that point in my life, and I was walking the dragon. You know what I mean?
I'm done with you. Oh my god. Mary, please tell me you watched the show and I wasn't alone.
No.
Ah!
I'm kind of in the Travis boat too. I was kind of in my anime headspace right here. So
y'all hurt me. Okay, well, the whole show.
I was binging recorded VHS like Sailor Moon episodes. So
Evil bad moonlight.
Moon Prism Power.
Oh my god, yes. But like, also Tuxedo Mask is epic as fuck, and no one can tell me otherwise. Anyway, I like honestly. Like how we talked about in the first part, Legion of Superheroes is on DC Universe. The Batman is on DC Universe. It's amazing. What's even funnier is you have Rino Romano voicing Batman, but then later, I believe Tim Daly came back to voice. Actually, it was George Newbern because he was just on Justice League Unlimited. He came in and voiced Superman. So it's very jarring to hear Rino Romano and George Newbern together when you're so used to him being on Justice League with Kevin Conroy as Tim Daly's replacement. But then, like, the show keeps going on with so many great voice actors. Like, Clancy Brown voices Mr. Freeze. Like, that's how epic this show was. And, like, the whole show ends with this really very Frank Miller The Dark Knight Returns episode where it's like the very dark future, and these agents go into the Batcave to look for a way to stop Mr. Freeze because Mr. Freeze is trying to take over the world in like the almost Batman Beyond future. And like they find recordings of Batman's last fight with Mr. Freeze before he hung up the cowl, and it's when Batman's in like his 50s. He's like old and decrepit, or almost like 60s, because like he's super buff like Frank Miller Batman, and like he's running in the tank, like he's putting in that work. And then Nightwing's in the episode, Oracle's in the episode, which is amazing. Like, and they all square up with Mr. Freeze for one last like fight. And the whole point of the episode is the mission is never over, which kind of continues a thing that is echoed in the finale of Brave and the Bold, which we'll talk about, which is the continuation of the Batman legacy in some way, shape, or form. So I like what the show did. I definitely say people should go check it out. And that's enough of me gushing. Okay, so something that everyone can talk about, which is Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Let's all rip on the Silver Age.
Pretty much, like it was. Let's be campy as fuck with the Silver Age and have a great time.
Yeah,
while also being the comeback of Aquaman, because man, he was ripping and roasting everyone.
Bro, like you basically take you take what's dude's name? Bender from
Joe DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio. You take John DiMaggio and you put him in this setting as Aquaman, and he hams it up. He just makes it everything, and like some people still deem it meme worthy, but I still love it. Because he takes it from, oh, you're useless, Aquaman, to no, even in the pitch blackness of the Gotham City, I will still punch those wrongdoers at any turn. And I'm like, I love it so much. Like, just yes. But then, like, the weird thing that was Will Friedle voicing a Spanish child as Jaime Reyes was very jarring for a lot of people, but I thought it was hilarious. Like Diedrich Bader, like I said earlier, as Batman is just perfect to the point that they brought him back for the new Harley Quinn show, which we'll get to.
It works on so many levels.
It's yes. I don't want to keep running my mouth. Mary, what was your thoughts on Brave and the Bold?
Oh my god, Brave and the Bold. It was magical. Because the whole show was designed basically to just rip on the Silver Age, which was, the very just cartoonish era of comic books, thanks to the Comic Code Authority, and so that's when we really started to see a lot of the outlandish things reach comic books, and it takes all of those and pokes fun at them, and so it's irreverent humor, it's satirical, it's nuance, it's amazing. Because in the last episode, Travis and I talked about it, the where the birds of prey come in.
Because it all started with the first musical episode where the Music Meister, voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, makes everyone sing.
Oh god, Black Manta just busting out in song like that was worth everything.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then like part 2 of the Music Meister saga is like the Birds of Prey singing and challenging all the men.
It is a very sexually explicit song.
Oh yeah. What they say about the Flash always stuck with me. Where like he's cute, but he just goes too fast.
That's
it's perfect.
You're right, but like damn.
I mean, even there's an episode where Batman and Steve Trevor get captured by Baroness von Gunther, and Wonder Woman flies in to save them, but there's a rendition of the Linda Carter opening theme while she's flying in to save them, and like it's so ridiculous. Like I think the funny thing for me is that the people who have their heads so far up their butts about these characters absolutely hate Batman Brave and the Bold because it's quote unquote making a mockery.
Oh my god.
But
it was a mockery.
But at the same time, like, it's not anything that hadn't been done before, I'm talking like, the Bat God worshippers. That hated it because it, feminized Batman somehow.
But how could they be mad? They got their episode. They got their episode in Brave and the Bold. They even said it out loud. Like, we really miss, like, really edgy Batman, and the Joe Chill episode reminded us of that. So we're going to make this as campy and as stupid as possible for the last 2 episodes. Yep. That was like a whole thing.
And like it had its cool like dark episodes, like when Batman becomes a Green Lantern, or like the Owlman episode. You saw some like dark and gritty episodes, but at the same time, it was them trying to take this iconography and make something fun out of it. But people didn't understand that, and it's annoying. What was it like? There was the whole episode where Aquaman takes his family on vacation, but like desperately wants to be like still do superhero work. Like, it's so funny as you read it, like as you watch it. I'm not saying read, as you watch it, and like he's trying so hard to keep it from Mara and Arthur Jr. that he's being a superhero, but then he keeps going. Then there was the one episode where like they're having the Teen Titans reunion with the Justice League, and Green Arrow's like, me and Speedy were always the best of partners, and they flash over to when Speedy's young, and they're in a tree, and it's like, Speedy, retrieve my bow from the Lake of Crocodiles, and it's like, bro. Everyone just glares at Oliver like, really, bro? Really? That's what you did? So there's a lot to love about the show. I still watch it occasionally. Like, that theme song is catchy as hell, and no one can tell me otherwise. But does anyone have any other thoughts on Brave and the Bold?
It's still wonderful and it's still magical.
Yes. Travis.
That's I fell in love with Diedrich Bader and his level of camp. It's just too good to pass up, honestly.
And what's even crazy, like I told about like the legacy of Batman continuing, the whole last episode is just Ambush Bug trying to save the show from cancellation. And like like they even like have references to like the really dumb toys that Batman occasionally gets. Like, he turns to Ski Luge Batman with like an orange jumpsuit and like having a luge. Like, it's so stupid. But I love it. And then, like, they even reference, hey, we're Batman's not gone forever. Beware the Batman is coming up next. And then it was canceled. Beware the Batman was one season, I believe. It was short. It was trying to be like this like return to Edge for a lot of people, and it was really, really lame.
It was really forgettable. Like,
Yes.
I don't remember much about it besides the weird animation.
Like, it was trying to do some weird 3D claymation kind of thing, and it didn't, bro. Travis, did you miss this one?
I definitely did.
Okay, like basically they tried to make like Alfred a like a buff dude, and they tried to make Katana his like secondary Alfred, but also his partner, and like they fought like no random villains like Professor Pig, who was still low grade at the time, and you had like Anarchy, but it was like Moon Knight looking Anarchy from like the 70s. Like like it was stretching the line a little too hard, and it wasn't a good show whatsoever. And it got canceled real freaking quick.
I mean, I think at one point, like, Tobias Whale is one of the villains. Like,
Yup. He actually was.
Oh god, I think Mr. Toad was in it too.
Yep, because he rode around with Professor Pig. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I can't oh my god, Humpty Dumpty, he was in it too.
Yep.
Oh, that's... Next we got a Condiment King.
Bro, I wish, but no. Like, so basically what we're saying is you should watch Beware the Batman and feel all the cringe.
Because
hearing you guys describe it.
Well, because it ran on Toonami, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Like
it was in the back end of the first few episodes were in prime time, but then like the back end of the season was pushed to like 2 a.m.
Wasn't this the show that had the weird like feudal era Chinese Batman? It was all animated out. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it.
I thought that was like a random episode of Brave and the Bold. They had that feudal Japan Batman. Might be wrong. But no. I'm gonna go with no.
I'll find the video, but I haven't seen this, and I'm scared to, but I'm gonna watch it because I do like to watch terrible things.
What's crazy is it's not on DC Universe. I just checked.
What? Okay.
I guess I gotta find a bootleg.
I may never watch it, man, because I gotta buy it.
Yeah, we gotta support the thing. Like there might be a couple episodes on YouTube. You never know. But no. So definitely, like, if you want to laugh, go watch it. But like, it's definitely not needed. It was short and it died as it lived badly. All right. So then there was the greatness that was the Green Lantern animated series. And by greatness, I mean it kind of died real freaking quick. Like, I at times I thought it had potential, but then it was trying to ride off the back of the Ryan Reynolds movie, and that's what killed the budget real quick because the toy sales were the only thing keeping it alive. It had animation similar to Beware the Batman, but it was more refined and like it looked good because it was in space. Like Kevin Michael Richardson voiced Kilowog. They tried like introducing the Red Lanterns into the mythology and the Star Sapphires for a lot of like the mainstream audiences. Like it definitely had its moments, but like, I wasn't the biggest fan. I was watching Young Justice at the time. Do you?
Why do I feel like what I sent you was better?
But Batman of Shanghai? Batman of Shanghai is friggin' phenomenal.
Wasn't Batman of Shanghai? Yeah, wasn't that like on the back of like a movie or something like that?
I think so, but I mean, just like, I'm sorry, I love like a Chinese animation, so it's lovely.
Yeah, it was. It was one of the short films that was included as one of the season finales of Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. Okay, that's where it's from then.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's set in Shit. I forget what time period in China it's set in, but it's in...
Oh, no, it wasn't even Brave and the Bold. It was just a random DC short.
1930.
Because that's when they had, like, DC Kids, and they were trying to have, like, different kinds of shorts and stuff like that. Like, they randomly had the one where it was, like, random Chinese baby gets Superman powers, and, like, his babysitter has to protect him. Like,
it was Batman of Shanghai takes place in the 1930s.
Yeah. It was really edgy, and I loved it, but, like, it was only one thing.
It's a short film.
So there was that. But did either of you watch Green Lantern the animated series? Because like I it was all right.
I tried, but I don't like the weird computer generated animation style. Like especially around that time. Like I feel like computer generated shows is not Cartoon Network did really well. But
Okay.
I mean. Unfortunately, I think Hal Jordan runs into a very specific problem that the rest of the Green Lanterns are more interesting than he is.
Preach!
Oof.
So it just the rest of the Green Lantern Corps were pretty much just ancillary characters to Hal Jordan, and
Ooh.
I'm not even a Kyle Rayner fan, but I would have preferred it to be about Kyle Rayner.
That's great. I appreciate you because I need Hal Jordan to go away. But that's just. Travis, did you watch this show?
No, I didn't. I have seen it on the DC universe, but I never watched it when I was younger.
I mean, like it has 2 seasons. Actually, it's 1 season with 26 episodes. So like it's definitely worth a look if you're bored.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a shot once I finish Clone Wars, Rebels, and that third one. I don't know why I'm forgetting what that one is.
It's the new one. I forget what it is. I'm currently watching Rebels and I freaking love it. Like, because I never saw it because like I didn't have cable when it was on, and it's really good. But no, so I know the one YouTuber Jeremy Johns has like a rating scale. It's definitely a good time, no alcohol required, as he would say. But like it's not something you need to like desperately watch right this second, if that makes sense. Like for Green Lantern. Now it's time for the creme de la creme of DC animated shows, next to Batman and Injustice. That is. And what do I mean? What do I mean, good people of America? I mean Young Justice. Young Justice. Hey, are you hating, Mary? Are you hating?
Boy, that's all I'm gonna say.
Are you feeling the Aster over there? Because like that's what I think is going on over there.
I am not a fan.
What?
Ooh, speak on it. Tell him what it is. Tell him why.
How dare you? Explain yourself.
I've never been a Young Justice fan.
Why? Is it McGann? Is it McGann?
Well, I'm in the cartoon. She was really insufferable.
Everyone hates McGann, and I'm like, I choose to ignore it because like it's funny and kooky, and I love sitcoms, so like I put up with it.
Well, like I was never a fan of the cartoon. I was never a fan of the comic. Like Young Justice is just not a property that I have ever actually been a fan of. Because, growing up, I loved the Teen Titans. And when Young Justice launched, Runaways launched at about the same time. So I was super into the deconstruction thing. And I tried. And I love Jeff Johns.
Your years are off, darling.
I thought the comic came out in 2003.
No, the original Young Justice comic was the 90s, and Jeff Johns' comics, Teen Titans, started in 2003. Because Graduation Day was happened in 2001 or 2002 because Donna Troy died, and then because Young Justice originally ran in the tail end of the 90s.
Well, that should show you how much I just don't care.
I didn't mean to school you. I apologize. For once, I do something you didn't. Holy shit!
Oh, please, James, please. I can school you on anything else.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I can school you on anything else.
For once, I win. But I'm take my one W and go home. But But like,
Mary, like you can have
this
W for free. I don't care.
That's fine. But like,
you're gonna get assassinated.
I know, right? But like, besides McGann, what's wrong with the show at the very least? Like, I understand the comic, it ain't your thing. But
okay, I don't like the animation. I don't like the vocal performances. I don't like the plot structure. I don't like the villain. Like, it is just this whole overarching thing of, just do not want.
Oh, she gutted it. She gutted it.
Okay, let me try to like fire back here. Okay, so voice performances. You have some of the best voice casting ever to be had. Okay, except for Nolan North. Like Nolan North's just kind of there. But like the first 2 seasons had some of the best vocal performances possible. Justin McCartney as Robin / Nightwing was like so out of left field, and like part of my Kingdom Hearts heart tears Roxas every time / Ventus, but then I'm like, I kind of like you as Nightwing and Robin. Like you put your own little flair on it. Like he's that cocky little bastard. Where like in the first episode, the doctor, like the scientist gets mad. He's like, he hacked the motion sensor. He's like, I hacked the motion sensors. Like he's a little bastard, and you love him for it. And then like in season 2, he grows up and has to become the leader that he didn't want to be originally. And it's so cool. And then Kari Payton takes off like the goofiness that was Cyborg and Teen Titans at times, and is just this hard, grizzled, but almost always serious, but sometimes carefree Cowder, which is insane because Cowder was only like being created for the show, but then he was tied into the comics because of Brightest Day right at the last minute. It's so cool that was able to happen. So you see him be elevated by the show into popularity by so many people, and now people want him to be an Aquaman 2 instead of Garth, which is hilarious. And you Wally. Not everyone likes how Wally's done because they kind of like feel like he's kind of a womanizing douchebag, which okay, fair, but like at the same time, his performance was well done. I like what they do with him. Like, just the show is so good. Mary, I need you to try this again. Like,
nope.
You get Bruce Greenwood as Batman. Like, he's my third favorite, well, fourth favorite. Because like,
but I mean, like, it absolutely butchered Tigress, and that is something I am still irritated about.
Okay, fair. But like, yeah, I can't argue with that because like I didn't even know who Tigress was till the show. I'm not even going front.
Dude, Infinity Incorporated, James.
Okay,
boo.
Fair, but like I it took me till reading Jeff Johns' JSA to know who Infinity Incorporated was. So like throw me. Yes, I will take that boo. But like,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, you good. I will take the boo. But like, and plus, Vandal Savage controlling everything and being this badass when like Vandal Savage was then ruined on Arrow, but we won't talk about that. But like, it like Vandal Savage is just the big dick in the room, and I love him for it in Young Justice. Like season 3, he was kind of lacking in the awesome department, but like 1 and 2, where he's constantly pulling the strings. Like it's so good, Mary. I don't know what you thinking, but like, I need you to try.
Nope.
Travis, help me.
I can't.
Why?
Can't. Young Justice wasn't that good.
Yeah, Travis.
You hurt me. I'm in pain.
Honestly, here's what I liked Young Justice for. I liked it because it felt like they combined Titans and Justice League into one thing. But yes. I got real sick and tired of, and I know I'm definitely probably dating myself when I watched this show, but I wasn't into, I don't know, I like Titans teeny bop stuff, not Young Justice teeny bop stuff. Does that make sense? The weird, adolescent drama that they go through on the side really turned me off to the show, but that was at time that I had watched it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. That's a logical complaint. See, that's fair. I'll give Travis that one. So I'm gonna sit on my hill with my flag that says YJ is better than TT. I will sit on my hill.
No, I'm sorry, but Diana has a forehead.
Oh.
Not just a giant headband.
Like she has a forehead and eyebrows. Like
Listen.
not.
Nah, dude, it's a helmet.
Listen, like, but the thing is, though, I still respect the voice actor in that show. Like, she actually puts that power in her voice, though. I really enjoyed her as Wonder Woman. I don't even know like what her damn name is. I gotta look it up because it was so well done. So like, props, even though you hating. Damn, that really is a big ass forehead. Like, okay, fair, but like, damn.
And the woman you're thinking of is Maggie Q.
Thank you. Like, her voice was great in that show. So like, yeah, deal with it. Okay. And like, yes, I have given my criticisms online about like season 3 basically taking all the recycled animations from the New 52 movies, because originally the New 52 movies took all the recycled animation from Young Justice. But like, I still enjoy season 3 despite the few problems I have. I will still say 1 and 2 are the best seasons. Like, specifically 1, but also 2 is the second best because it really does amp it up. But
I mean,
still
the awkward de-aging of Zatanna is awkward.
Okay, but like, the idea of having Zatara a part of the Justice League was cool, though.
But like, was
And
it?
Yeah, and then like they told me like when they did the time skip and like Dick was the same age as Zatanna, they like put Zatanna on the Justice League, which was cool.
Sure, Jan.
Don't you dare sure Jan me! How dare you steal my joke? Oh, I'm so offended. Okay, we gonna move on. I'm hurt. I'm looking at my head. I'm hurt. Okay. But okay, so from there...
Actually, there is one thing I want to say about Young Justice.
Okay.
That I feel like sums up all of my feelings.
Oh no.
Are you ready, James?
I don't know. Okay, go for it.
Runaways Season 3 premieres December 13th.
God damn it! I can throw some salt back at your wound, but I'm not going to do it. Okay.
If you think you can.
Ooh.
At least I get a season 4.
Oh. You know what, James? At least I get a proper ending. And I don't have to wait 6 years for it.
Okay, but like, fair. But also, at least I get my proper ending. So like we got our return.
You want one more, James?
Sure, go for it. Let's go. I'm liking this. This is fun.
At least I have a good ongoing book.
Fair.
And I don't got no ducks.
You God damn it.
Oh, I ain't got no
Quack,
ducks.
quack, James.
Let's get dangerous.
I hate both of you. Okay.
I'm sorry, I love this.
No. That was great. That was greatness. I love it. All right, so as Young Justice was canceled after season 2 because of toy sales, apparently, which was dumb. Which I think wasn't even toy sales. It was the fact they shoved it at a 7 a.m. time slot, which no kid would be awake to watch.
Ew.
They went from season 1 being at 9 a.m. to season 2 not only having multiple hiatuses, but them shoving it at 7 a.m.
Oh, that's just... And they wonder why it got canceled. Jesus.
Yeah, they sent it there to die. But then you saw when Young Justice ended, immediately what show kicked up was Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
I will defend this show.
No. Yes. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because originally I was butthurt, and I will give it the utmost of apologies. Teen Titans Go. That I was butthurt because literally Young Justice has a season finale. The next week, Teen Titans Go premieres, and I was pissed. Like, you took my show away from me, not only for Teen Titans, but a lesser version of it. That's what I saw in my head when I was in high school. I was hurt. I was hurt by this. You took my pride and joy from me and brought a lesser version of what I thought was my other pride and joy. And at first, it was kind of rough till it found its parody footing. Teen Titans Go has now, what is it, almost 10 years now that show has been out. I feel like it's pushing something.
It popped out when I was in college, so I want to say about 2013.
I'm getting close. Because, it's been going so long that it's now had 2 movies.
Yeah, it was 2013.
That's crazy. It's on 5 seasons now, which the season leg has to be freaking huge.
It is.
It brought back the entire original 5 cast of the Teen Titans, with some random guest stars here and there reprising their roles, like Terra and Aqualad being voiced by Will Wheaton, which is still weird, and occasional different things like that. And the thing was about this show specifically, it had its ties to the original show, but in reality, it was we're just gonna rewrite stuff. Hey, Tara's here and she's cool, but she could also be evil sometimes. And also, Rose Wilson is here too, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
And I think the big thing is that it's legitimately for children.
Yes.
And Teen Titans Go to the Movies is one of the funniest goddamn movie experiences I have ever had.
Yes.
Bro,
because
you could say it's for kids, but honestly, those jabs that Teen Titans Go never waste the opportunity to get at neckbeards is why it's more than just a kid's show.
Agreed.
It's Slade. It's so cool to say it that way. Slade.
Now, I do think with Go to the Movies, they missed a golden opportunity to bring back freaking Ron Perlman to reprise his role for that joke, because that would have been hilarious. Now, granted, I enjoy Will Arnett as Slade, but having Ron Perlman back would have been hilarious. I will say that.
Just that jab at the challengers of the unknown is just the greatest thing DC has ever done.
They do not care, and it's hilarious.
And I gotta give him credit for, just being so self-aware to get Stan Lee to do a damn cameo in the movie.
And now, which sucks, because that was his rough one where it was just him on a cell phone, and they had to throw that bitch into the audio editor so badly, but they still made it count. And he's like, "This ain't even my company, but I'm still doing a cameo." That's freaking hilarious. And so I hell, having Nicolas Cage come back in that movie and voice Superman, was hysterical.
Oh god, Halsey was Wonder Woman.
Halsey was Wonder Woman. They had they had ASAP Rocky voice Jon Stewart.
Kristen Bell, I forget, she was Rose Wilson.
That's hilarious, bro.
It makes sense for the character.
But I mean, it's just so funny that it is a self-aware parody of what was essentially a parody.
Right.
I
remember they had a whole... Oh, go ahead.
They took the parody to the next level, that's all I was going to say.
Oh, I remember the episode they had where they specifically, they used all the old Teen Titans animations, but it was all the new voices.
Yeah.
Why does everyone look so serious and weird?
And the thing was, I still feel kind of hurt by Teen Titans versus Teen Titans, or the fuck it was Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans, or what the fuck it was called. Where Teen Titans Go to the Movies hints at that big return of the OG Titans, and then it was just, we're gonna have a multiverse crossover with all the different Teen Titans that have been in the show. And I'm you missed a golden opportunity to not only reunite the original the original versions with the new campy parody versions, and then finally give us the season 6 everyone wanted.
But see, that's the thing, James. They were just trolling.
Which pisses me off because, I know the neckbeards get trolled on, which is a good thing, but, even Tara Strong and, Greg Sipes and Scott Melvin and stuff like that were all saying, "Hey, you guys support this, we get a season 6. I'm you're full of shit. Just say you're not going to do it and make the parody. I would have more respect for you if you just admitted you weren't going to do a season 6. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. I feel you.
Because it took me a few years. I definitely got over my frustration of Young Justice being replaced by this show, because there was the couple episodes that I saw, the Robin has his driving test episode, and like dude's just getting crunk in the front seat while the driving instructor robs the bank and stuff like that. Like, or like the episode where Beast Boy and Cyborg is like, when I say I want, you say pie, like that shit had me dead. So I definitely evolved when it came to like, hey, it's a good show, but like it's just not for me. And like I'll enjoy it occasionally when it's on, but like it's just not for me. So yeah. Any more thoughts on Teen Titans Go, y'all?
No, I think that about covers it. I loved the satire. That's the best way I could put it. I loved that it satirized itself and everything it was entrenched in.
Yes.
Okay. Now the next one that sort of like tried to be the return to form for a lot of people, but like had the worst schedule on the face of the earth was Justice League Action. It was trying to have sort of that new school of animation style to it, but also be like this generation's Justice League Unlimited with like the occasional team ups with different superheroes and stuff like that. Like it definitely had its charm. Like you had Kevin Conroy back as Superman. Oh, Jesus, I'm tired. I'm really tired. It's like, what is it, midnight? That Kevin Conroy back as Batman. You had like, I think was he the only one that? Oh, you had Kari Payton back as Cyborg. They tried to do a lot of cool things with that show. There was a whole Justice League Dark Halloween episode, and it had its flair to it, but like it had the worst scheduling ever, and it got canned so fast because it was never on TV. Did either of you watch Justice League Action at all?
I tried.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, like I said, I had tried, but I just couldn't get into it because it didn't provide that same rush.
That's fair. Mary?
I liked the episode where Mark Hamill kidnapped Mark Hamill only to be saved by Mark Hamill. There's an episode where Mark Hamill, the person, is captured by the Trickster and Joker only to be saved by Swamp Thing, who was also voiced by Mark Hamill, and he voices all of the characters in the episode.
Which is so weird because Mark Hamill voicing Swamp Thing was just really weird.
All I remember is that Mark Hamill tweeted saying it's the only time he slept with the entire cast.
Oh my god.
That's great, and I love it. Okay, so I definitely say if you can find Justice League Action online, or like if you can find the DVDs, because it wasn't at least the case.
It's on Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! So definitely, I say it's definitely worth a look because it had its charm. It had a few good episodes. I still say like the Halloween Justice League Dark episodes really good. Like the fire, like because they tried to make Firestorm the new kid of the group with like him teaming up with the League and stuff like that. That was kind of fun. So I definitely say give it a look. And we're rounding out the list and whatnot here, and we have we have DC Superhero Girls, which has gone through two different iterations. The first one had the really catchy theme song, the "Get Your Cape On," and like it was DC's big initiative to try to get like younger girls into the DC line. Like
it worked for mine.
It was an overwhelming success. I have so much to say about this.
Well, I'll let you take the stage there. Like, grab the mic. Do you think?
Well, DC Superhero Girls started out as kind of like an online-only initiative. They would put these, 1 or 2 minute little bits up on YouTube that would then compile into a larger story kind of a thing. And it was designed to get younger girls into the DC universe kind of a thing. So, you had this core group of characters, which were give me a second.
It's Batgirl, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman.
It's Batgirl, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy, and Katana, and Bumblebee. They were the main merchandising leaders kind of a thing. And you had the cartoons on YouTube, you had full movies that they did, you have had multiple graphic novels. I think we can really credit DC Superhero Girls being the first foot in the door that DC had into the young adult market.
Yep.
And
my daughter's bed is literally a DC Superhero Girls bed. Like, it's got the big 3 on the headboard and everything. She loves it.
Hmm. And the big thing is, and I think where DC Superhero Girls was a massive success was in 2016. Um, sh- sorry, I just kind of choked on my own throat there. But they Diane Nelson, who was president of the president of DC at the time, basically said DC Superhero Girls, through merchandising and movies and whatnot, could be our billion-dollar property, and it nearly was. I mean, these netted so much money. It was a worldwide phenomenon. And even I found myself completely charmed by it, because the whole thing of the cartoon is that they're at superhero high and Amanda Waller is principal, and you've got all of these different characters like Barry Allen and Hawk Girl are in the Science Club, and you had a lot of returning voice actors. All of the Teen Titans voice actors came back. And it was just this adorable thing. Like, Steve Trevor worked at this movie shop.
Which is so weird. I still don't understand why they relaunched it with such a jarringly different animation.
I have a lot of issues.
Supergirl?
Yeah, and they cut
I do enjoy
Superbuff from the team. It was very weird.
And I think it was definitely bizarre to kind of revert Harley and Ivy back to an antagonistic status. And I think that's kind of ultimately what did the property in. Because if you notice that you don't really hear about it anymore. I mean, Shea Fontana is still putting out the books. And the books still sell really well in the young adult market. But, oh God, what's her name? Lauren Faust, I think. Is she... I need to verify if she is the one that adapted it for Cartoon Network. But, she was one of the original developers for the new My Little Pony reboot, and we've all seen how that's gone.
I have no idea. I'm not a brony.
That's the problem. That is a topic for not a podcast.
Okay. But it blows my mind, because the original run with the superhero high and stuff like that, they had full Lego sets and Lego movies based around that version on top of the movies they already had. Why would you doom your own product like that?
Parasite the Janitor did it.
Oh God.
I mean, and I think it's because they, I feel like it could be one of the many, 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 many side effects that came as a result of Diane Nelson leaving DC.
Maybe.
That, she safeguarded, the funny thing is that we didn't know how much she was doing for us until she left, and that she safeguarded so much. She was at the head of Rebirth. She's the one that yanked DiDio and Leah back, and that's why Rebirth was so good. I mean, she fought Warner Brothers executives to get a Wonder Woman movie.
Wow.
I will sing the gospels of this woman. I'm sorry.
You could. And hell, this is the show that sparked the great legal battle that was DC v Hasbro, where the Bumblebee movie was coming out, but Hasbro wanted to get mad at DC for having the DC Superhero Girls toys with Bumblebee
because they can't tell the difference between a black teenager and a robot,
which is hilarious. And on top of the
Makes
fact
sense.
that DC won the lawsuit because Bumblebee was created in a Teen Titans comic book before Bumblebee was brought to the States. So it was great that came through.
From what I understand, the judge pretty much just looked at it and went, no, go away.
On top of the fact this is stupid, she came before you, so you lose on double the merit. It was hilarious. So, yes.
And I was right, it was Lauren Faust.
Okay, cool. So, I really wish they'd go back to the original version of the show, but it's still kind of charming for what it is.
Oh no, it is, and the reboot, if you even really want to call it that, it added Zatanna and I think most importantly Jessica Cruz. So we're seeing a huge push with Jessica Cruz with Justice League versus the Fatal Five, and this, and even the fact that Diana or Wonder Woman is seemingly a woman of color.
Mm-hmm. That was a big move too.
The biggest thing is that they gave her a Gal Gadot-like accent.
Mm-hmm.
But
They pushed that.
I also heavily enjoyed like how they would take some nods to the comics, but they would completely trivialize a lot of different elements. Like, for example, I'm trying to remember some examples, but every time you saw like Hal or the Flash, it was always some tropey. I don't know. They always made them look ridiculous to kind of put more spotlight onto the hero girls.
Mm-hmm. Like Beast Boy let the animals out of the zoo and the girls have to help him, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. I will say, like, the new version gets props because they made Catwoman Eartha Kitt like girl, which is amazing. So like props to the new version as well for that.
It's not bad. It's not a move I would have made, but it's not bad. Both of them are good, but I think the previous one was monetarily probably more successful.
And had the better theme song.
Well, yeah, of course it had the better theme song. That thing's catchy as shit.
That thing slaps. All right, so now we have reached the end of the modern age, and we are here to give our first impressions on what brought this to the table, which is the new Harley Quinn TV show.
It's so ridiculous.
So this is definitely this definitely is not a show for children.
Fuck no.
Let's get this out the way now. This is like the minute the show starts, like F-bombs are flying and we are getting to the nitty-gritty because she's breaking legs and everything. Like
Batman
fucks cats.
My first. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, my first impression of it, because I had never even heard of it, and then you're like, go watch Harley Quinn. So I watch it, and in the first line, the dude's like, "We the Wyatts are doing what we do best."
God,
and I was like, wait a minute. He goes, "Fucking the paw." I was like, holy shit. Okay, I can't watch this with Cece.
Yeah. Like, that was insanity. And then Harley Quinn just hops down, starts cussing them all, like, "Give me all your money!" And then, like, dude's like, "Hey, we don't care about Joker's girlfriend." And she just breaks his kneecap. And he's, like, lying on the floor, like, howling in pain. And she's like, "Shut up, you're gonna go into shock in a minute." He's like, "But I'm in so much pain."
There it is.
It was so great.
As sure as I am as he fucks bats.
Oh my god! She keeps making this joke about like him fucking bats, and it was so great. And like Diedrich Bader is back as Batman. You have randomly enough Haley Cuoco as Harley, which is insanity. When they first brought that to the table, I didn't.
Haley Cuoco.
Haley Cuoco. I said
you said Haley Cuoco.
I'm tired. Okay,
I would welcome Lesbian Jesus if she wanted to voice anybody. We do. We call her Lesbian Jesus.
We already had her as Velma. Don't get greedy. Wait, you did see that, right?
Yeah, no. She was in Scooby-Doo and she was on the Disney Channel for a while.
Yeah. So okay, I apologize. I'm tired. But no, she definitely brings this new version of Harley that kind of like it does. She's not really doing an accent. She's not going over the top. She's not even throwing the really hardcore Brooklyn into it that like some people try to do with Harley. Like she's almost like what I would say like when I hear Hayden Welch do Harley. She's like someone took Tara Strong and like this new Harley and put them together and made Hayden Welch. Like that's what I get now because you hear her doing it and it sounds genuine. It sounds like herself and it works. I love it to death. And then randomly enough, freaking hold on a second. That horrible. Travis, what did you think of the LA episode so far?
I got to watch the whole thing, and honestly, I found it to be wonderful. I love, and I cannot say love enough. I fucking love how hard and how much of an effort they're putting into shitting on the Joker as a companion.
Yes.
Oh my god! Yes. Thank you.
All props to what's his freaking name? Alan Tudyk as the Joker, because like you almost hear the Mr. Nobody in his voice from Doom Patrol, but like he works as the Joker. And I love it to death. And he's like, he puts that forcefulness into it of like, yeah, you suck, lady. I don't care about you. Like, it's so
yeah.
good.
And see, and here's, I guess here's where my comic book fan elitism kind of taints it for me, because I loved the role that Poison Ivy played in this whole like first episode.
Yes.
But I'm also worried on where this will lead us, because it didn't end as well as it started with them two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So with this being Cancer, man. And this show is definitely Cancer. The quips are fucking over the top.
I love how literally Ivy breaks open Harley's cell, where has all the plants, and the guards are like, "How did you get a plant in here?" And Riddler just goes, "I ate an orange and I shit it out of seed." I'm like, bro, what is going on? This show pulls no punches. Like, I love Ivy's like sidekick plant, who's like this jive talking Venus flytrap. Frank is like perfect Venus flytrap jive talking. It's great. I like how they kind of hint at the relationship that Ivy and Harley could have, but I don't know if they're gonna pull the trigger on it. And I'm kind of I don't know how I feel about that.
For me, I think the show works in a lot of ways. Is that because, if you're familiar with Harley Quinn in her specific solo books at all, this is very clearly based off of the Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti book that has been, or what, I know Sam Humphries has taken over the book now, but it ran from the New 52 all the way through Rebirth, kind of a thing. Yeah. And it is, it's completely irreverent. And a lot of people tried comparing it to Deadpool, but they are night and day, quite frankly. There is fourth wall breakage, and Conner and Palmiotti even include a character named Red Tool.
Which I really hope they bring him in, but I know they won't.
Right, because, he was just a complete Deadpool parody. Everything Deadpool is, Red Tool was. Mm-hmm. So I think it is definitely the essence and the structure, and even the costuming, and from what I could from the Comic-Con trailer that I saw, there are a lot of specific elements from the Conner Palmiotti book that we are going to get in the cartoon. She has the roller derby team. There's the old guy in the wheelchair. I forget what his name is. Cyborgman. His name is Cyborgman. So he's going to be coming in. So that's definitely where this is drawing from. But at the same time, we're getting the kookiness, if you will, that Margot Robbie brought to Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Because there's a whole scene in the episode where her mallet gets blown up, and then she picks up the baseball bat, and she kind of has a moment with the baseball bat, and then starts beating the shit out of everybody with it. Mm-hmm. Lake Bell as Poison Ivy is phenomenal. Yes. There's a certain Daria-like deadpan to her that I adore.
Ooh, yes, I agree with that.
And I've always... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, ever since seeing Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin, I've always felt that there's, kind of this overly sarcastic deadpan element to her, and be able to see that brought to the cartoon by Lake Bell. And I am a fan of hers in general, so when I heard she was doing Ivy, I was over the moon. But at the same time, there also is that sense of compassion that was elevated by Amy Chu in Circle of Life and Death.
Yes.
That we're kind of seeing here, because I don't want to give so much of the episode away, but Ivy ends up setting something up to kind of show Harley how much of a piece of shit the Joker is. And she has a line to the effect of, I love you so much, I wasted my entire Saturday doing something that's fucking stupid.
Yep.
So
also all the props in the world to Christopher Maloney, aka freaking Detective Detective Stabler, as Commissioner Gordon, because Commissioner Gordon looks strung out. He looks
so bad.
He looks like V neckbeards.
Like coffee in hand, just done with everything, and he's playing with the bat signal on,
off. I wasn't playing with it.
He wasn't playing with it. And then when Harley makes a joke, he fucks bats. He doesn't do that. It was so great. I love it so much. So I have a lot of hope for this show. I'm definitely going to tune in next week because, like, it was hysterical. And I'm kind of excited to see what they do with this show.
Is there time for me to touch on just one more thing?
Sure, go for it.
And it was kind of piggybacking off of what you and Travis were talking about. And a lot of initial reactions that I'm seeing from a lot of queer women is that they feel like there's a certain amount of erasure going on.
Yep.
I do not believe that. Because I could write a book about this, but the unfortunate nature of, queer representation in media is that it really needs to be explicitly stated. But if it's not explicitly stated, that doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a moment where you do pick up on the fact that Ivy might have, and probably does have, an attraction to her. Because she says something to the effect of, I love you in a confusing and hard to describe way, while tucking her hair behind her ears, which is, kind of the universally accepted thing women do when, they're in love with it's some romantic comedy bullshit. But I don't think that's going to be there. And I think the claims of erasure are a little unwarranted for the first episode. I can't say with confidence that that's 100% where they're going to go with this. But there are a few moments in various trailers where I've kind of picked up on things like, okay, this looks like it's a parallel from the comic. And you guys know me, I have an X-Acto knife and a magnifying glass, and I just dissect this shit.
Yep.
Right. That's the truth.
Would you say that you're cautiously optimistic about this?
More or less, yeah. I think they'll play around with the relationship the same way that Connor and Palmiotti did.
Okay. That's fair. Also, props to Jim Rash, aka Gyro Gearloose from DuckTales, who also voices the Riddler in this episode, because he out here being a savage, telling Ivy to go to Costco, and he's out here shitting out seeds, and I love him. He was trying so hard to make his riddle something that wasn't acid, and Batman and Harley are just like, it's acid, dude, just admit it's acid.
What eats you after you drink it? It's acid.
It's acid. He just tried to sell it so differently, but it's acid. Just get over it. And then he just tried. He's looks at Ivy, goes, I told you just to get a Costco card. It was so. So yes, that's us loving Harley. And we're cautiously optimistic for the future. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this part 2 of this episode. Don't forget that you can follow us on Twitter at PTP_podcast. Don't forget that you can follow the website On Comics Ground on Twitter, Instagram at On Comics Ground. You can check out the website every weekday for new content like reviews, previews, solicitations, and more at oncomicsground.com. Put some hyphens between those words for me. And you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, not SoundCloud, Jesus fuck, I'm tired. You can listen to Not SoundCloud and YouTube and Spotify. Okay, we are going to peace out. But before we do, Mary, what is your closing statement for episode 25?
Honestly, I'm excited for more Harley Quinn. I think there's 13 episodes. It releases weekly, and I'm just buckled up, and I am ready for this ridiculous ride.
All right. Travis, what is your closing statement for episode 25?
Similar to Mary's, but I'm excited for the cancerous quips. Where'd the gardener go? I didn't need him. Well, did his parents come look for him? No, I doubt that.
Wanda Sykes is supposed to pop up at some point, and I'm so excited.
Oh my god, yes. Okay, I'm even more hyped for this now. All right, and then my closing statement is I'm excited for the future of the show. I'm excited for what 2020 has in store for us. Please get excited for December 16th, where we will be having our winter finale of Panel to Panel, and it's going to be very exciting. Very exciting.
Oh Lord.
You know it's going to be exciting, so just buckle up for it. All right. We will catch you folks next time right here on Panel to Panel. Peace out.